Hi, I'm Jess Crombie. I'm an academic working in narrative ethics in documentary storytelling, mostly in the humanitarian sector, and I am a giant geek about storytelling. Today we are looking at the social sciences of storytelling, and this text, Joseph Campbell's Hero with a Thousand Faces, which was written way back in 1949, but still influences the ways that stories are told today. So in this text, Campbell, who is an American writer and literary editor, analysed the structure and development of a wide variety of myths and traditional stories from around the world and used it to create what he called the monomyth, a storytelling cycle that he claimed was that all stories across humanity followed. A sort of storytelling blueprint is a good way to think about it, that ensured that stories were universally enjoyed and engaged with. His theory covers three main stages: departure, initiation, and return. And within these there are 12 other stages of the story. And I'm going to show you an illustration later on in this video that takes us through these. I'm going to use a lot of Western located movie examples in this explainer, but don't be fooled into thinking this only applies to movies. It's been used way more widely than that. And I should say as well that I was given this book when I was a teenager by my stepdad, and it was definitely a gateway portal into my interest in storytelling. So the area I want to draw your attention to are a few, but I'm going to start with the crossing of the line from the normal world into the unknown world, which is one of the critical points of his cycle. Now, by world, this could be literal, such as a quest movie like Lord of the Rings, where our hobbits leave their safe world and travel to places that are new to them. However, it could also be used as a metaphor for travelling into the unknown of your conscious, where you might physically stay in the same location, but your mind travels to a new place of understanding, like Groundhog Day, for example. And in a traditional story structure, this is also known as the inciting incident. So this is the moment where someone's life is changed and they choose to investigate a new path, literal or otherwise. It's the reason for the story often. So the hero in Campbell's theory must undergo trials and failures and growth. That's a part of this cycle. And this reflects Campbell's position as a white, middle-class American male, a capitalist mindset, where while failure is okay, it must also be an opportunity to learn, failing forwards in today's parlance rather than, well, just failing. At the bottom of the cycle, there's the important death and rebirth moment. Now, in stories, this actually comes around the 70% mark, and it's usually when you're watching a movie or reading a book and all hope is lost and it seems that our hero is not going to be able to achieve whatever goal or enlightenment they were moving towards. And then lastly, the cycle ends with change. The hero returns to their before life, but really importantly, they have been changed by their experience. This is a critical part of the cycle. And once you understand it, you're just going to see it everywhere. And I'm not going to lie, it may ruin your enjoyment of some movies. My children now turn to me in the cinema and whisper, "Worst point," at the moment where, all hope seems lost. And my 12-year-old's even started to resist or reject watching films or reading stories that adhere to this cycle. He's always looking for it to be subverted. And he's not alone. Loads of filmmakers have sought to subvert this structure, whether through the actual construction of their film, like Memento, which runs backwards, or through their main hero refusing to learn and be changed, like The Big Lebowski. It's also been criticised for being unrepresentative of alternative stories and relying on gendered stereotypes, and that is definitely true. And at 76 years old, it has certainly dated. However, I think if you want to understand the science of storytelling, you need to understand texts like this that have been enormously influential in how stories are told, whether storytellers are following it or whether they are subverting it. Like it or not, it has had really substantial impact. So next time you chill out with a movie or read a fiction book or even watch a documentary, look out for this structure. It is really surprising how it pops up in short form and long form, and even in places which might not look like traditional stories. And if you want to find out more, there are loads of videos on YouTube explaining this theory, or you can read the book. It's quite a chunky one, but it's a good read. Right, thanks for watching. More to follow in the Science of Storytelling series in the coming days and weeks. Thanks.